Hey, let me put my glasses on. See someone. Hey, Angela. What's up? How are you? Oh, my motorcycle man came by. Look at that. Yeah, it's gonna take me for a ride. Hey, sweet wheat. How are you? Sorry about the pole and the brick wall in the way, but how's everyone doing? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. I'm glad I made it to the sunset. I've been running around like crazy. Pretty sky. Yeah, it is. Jamie, what's up? Good to see everybody. Happy summer solace. Longest day of the year? The summer? I don't know. Something like that. Wish I could zoom in a little bit. Oh God, that brick wall. What an eyesore, but oh well. Oh, that's better. There we go. There she goes. That is gorgeous. If I could just cut down that street light, it would be a perfect picture. Hope everyone's doing well. Okay, let's get right into it. As we know, who isn't keeping tabs on the submarine that is down at the bottom of the ocean, on the ocean floor, at the site of the Titanic in Newfoundland. First day of summer. Oh, thank you. So, you know, we're all concerned. We're all praying. 4 hours till sunset here. I hope it's a beautiful one. So we're all hoping and praying for these people on board. You gotta have hope. They'll be out of oxygen tomorrow morning. So my concern is if they're hearing banging where there's the expert, what's his face, on board, why you would think they would bang sooner. That's a question I have. It is sad. It is very sad. Regardless of how people think, you know, to pay $250,000 to go down, you know, some people are saying, and I agree, it's a sacred burial ground for all the lost souls from that Titanic who were never retrieved. And why do we profit off of such tragedy, you know? But it is what it is, and there's 5 lives down there that need to be saved. Yeah, Angela, me too. I don't know if there's something that's floated by, but I don't know if it's confirmed that there's banging every 30 minutes, so it's an intermittent type banging, but I don't know if that's true or not. So as you know, I haven't watched Merb in quite a while until she started with her drama again and mentioning Jimmy and how much of a great guy he is. And, you know, despite his past, which he was young, I will agree. And, you know, I'm sure by now, if it was 50 years ago, he's gotten his record expunged. Meaning he could probably get a job that requires a background check when you work with children or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, she must need views. Yeah, it's really a sad situation that, you know, when you rely on YouTube as an income, that would drive me nuts. But she does. Which is, to this day, I don't understand why people just don't go out and get a job and get benefits, retirement, Social Security, because when you retire, the more you work, it's on a point system. So when she retires, unless she's taken Social Security out, um, but a lot of people don't. They just file taxes on it and pay whatever. But a lot of people won't put into Social Security. But when you retire, the less you work, the less money you get. I heard Merb say J-May is the worst. I don't watch her. My last video on her was 6 months ago. She's on disability, I thought, for her main income. Merb is on disability. Hey, Florida Gray, nice to see you. So, I happened to pop in replay and just watch a little bit of one of her lives where she was, you know, the true crime true crime speed reader creator, Merb. Okay, people, what is your main concern of the people trapped in the Titan submarine? So what is your main concern? I'll wait a minute. Yep, she still talks about you, Jamie. Of course she does. So, you know, when people move, that's what narcissists do. When people have moved on, they try to bring you back. They try to bring you back and they bring up your name because they can't stand it when they're ignored or forgotten about in both. She holds a grudge. What a sad life she lives. Yeah. And isn't Merp the one who quotes the Lord? Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. What a performance she put on the other night. But yet she's one that says, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. So we all know that she doesn't follow the Bible, nor does she probably read the Bible. I don't have to be a Christian to know that I've heard that scripture before. And that means that God is the almighty judge. So it's really pathetic to hear someone who claims to be a Christian or a Catholic. But you know, a lot of Catholics make up the rules as they go. Not all Catholics, but I've seen it. You know, they make up their own little laws, man-made laws, outside of the Bible to justify their sins. Okay, do we have what's the main concern of the people down in the submarine, the Titan? My main concern is their oxygen, okay? Is their oxygen and that they're rescued in time. Because mind you, even if they're found, to lift that submarine up will take about an hour, hour and a half to get up above sea level. Merb reads my comments on other channels. She's stalking me. Yeah, so look at, and I've seen some comments around, and I do agree that what she's doing is by doing that, she's showing who she really is. So if you're her friend and you leave her, she will show you private messages. So beware, you know, don't text her, don't email her, don't call her. She might even be recording you. That is not a friend, okay? You think it imploded? I would think if it imploded that by this time there would be something surfacing, don't you think? To the surface of the ocean. My fire feeds on oxygen. My fire feeds on oxygen. So, okay, this is Merb's, Mummy Ramblings, concern. Ready? She's concerned about how they urinate and defecate. Yeah. How they urinate and defecate. That's where her mind is at. In lies, yeah. Pants fire. Oh, I like the avatar that goes with that. That's cool. The pants are on fire. I used to have an avatar, liar, liar, pants on fire. Um, yes. Give me a ride next time. So yes, her main concern, people, is how do they poop? Yeah, these people are trapped in the bottom of the ocean floor with only so many days and hours now left of oxygen to breathe, life-sustaining oxygen. And she's worried about how they're pooping. It sounds like Pink's leaving with the Hells Angels, right? Wouldn't that be awesome? I love motorcycles. Hold on, I gotta go back to my car and get my drink. It's getting chilly. It's gonna get in the 50s. Ooh. Hold on 1 second. All right, but think about it. Think about, how they poop. It's not like, astronauts that we know are coming back, and it's a curious question. No, her concern with 5 people, one of them being a teenager, I feel so bad for that kid. And I'm thinking about what is going through their minds. Are they panicking? Are they saving oxygen? Are they able to talk? Are they not talking? Because the more they talk, the more oxygen they're taking in, And Mummy ramblings, how do they poop? Wow. Wow. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for the kid's mom. Her husband and son are down there, right? Yes, those are they're from Pakistan. Yeah, cute kid. I saw a picture of him and his dad. Nice looking gentleman, and that's sad. How long were they to be down there? 8 hours, including travel time down and up. So I think it was an hour and a half to get down, and I'm gonna have to get up. So that's 3 hours, 4, 5, 6. So in 3 hours to 4 hours down there, exploring the Titanic. I am bad, too much money and no brains. It was not safe. Well, I was reading up that the company, what the cops are up here for? Hi, keep going. Okay. The company was sued, I think in 2018 or 19. They fired one of their production employees because he claimed it wasn't safe, and he was fired, and he turned around and filed a lawsuit, and they did settle out of court for an undisclosed amount of money. The ex-employee did win the lawsuit. They've had infractions, but I don't know on government level, state level, whatever, how strict they are, to I don't know. I don't know what the regulations are, but they've been sued. Like, this isn't like the first, oh, wow, we didn't know this was safe. They swept a lot under the rug and paid people off. Hey, Ivy Lynn. Thanks for being here. Their poop bucket will sustain them for only 7 hours. And they don't have a lot of food either, Merb. So, and they're probably dehydrated. They're rationing what little food they had on board. It wasn't like they were planning for, a weekend trip getaway. So, there's not much to poop or urine out. But can you believe it? Like that's your first thought when you know these people are running out of time and their lives are hanging in the their lives, yeah, are hanging in the balance. And I'm just like, you're nuts, Merb. You are nuts. You have no compassion. I mean, if your kid was down there, is that what you'd worry about? How is he gonna poop? How is he gonna poop? She was wicked the other day, huh? She was wicked, calling everyone out, calling Bitey Cat out. And I think, as far as everyone's messages, I think the community already went through that, and everybody is aware of crappy messages they sent each other, because that's what happens. You get in a fight with somebody, or you're mad and you say things that you might regret. You say things in the moment and you share them with your other friends. And, you know, so that backfired on her, because she's trying to split up more friends. That was her tactic. Let me read these messages and get everyone else fighting. That's an epic fail, Merb. Hi, Bitey Cat. How are you? I'm so sorry what she's doing to you. But she's just showing who she really is, which we've always known anyway. But if that's all she's got, really, Merb? And she talks like she's done no wrong. That's what gets me. Showing a dead dog that's still warm, bleeding, with her son next to him, live streaming it. I'll show you people, as if it was our fault the dog got hit, right? I mean, we can go on and on of all the things Merb has done. And I'd like to know, where's Nicole? She's welcome here. Where is she? She's being silent because she knows if she says anything, it's blackmail. We know that if Nicole speaks up, and I'm sure Nicole has texted Merb, has emailed her, has called her. This is what Merb does. She has a little vault, and she keeps everyone's text messages and emails and voicemails, right? So when you do have a falling out with her, she'll show them. We are already on her blog, Jamie. Remember, she was exposing demons and threatening us. Yeah. So, Merb, all you've done is show who you really are. And she still thinks she's the best community on YouTube, which makes me laugh. Hashtag best community on YouTube. Out of all of YouTube, you're the best community on YouTube. Okay. All right. How's that working for you? You got 41,000 subs, but not that many people show up. And look, not that many people show up to my lives, but I'm not in this to make a living. Okay? I don't need the money. I don't need the views. Okay? I don't define my life, my income, or paying my bills by how many views I get. And why don't you be a real true crimer like Gray Hughes, who doesn't do drama, has over 100,000 subscribers? Yeah. But you got to resort back to throwing people under the bus. It's like hitting, it's like going in, it's like running them over and then putting your vehicle in reverse and running them over again, Merb. Guys, Super Serial, what's up? Long time no see. Hi, Jenny. And you don't have 41K subs, as sure as hell you would need slow chat on, right? Hey, Pink, it's me, Susan. I remember Art Studio 504. I think you told me that one time you changed it. Merb has an ugly soul. She doesn't look well either. She really doesn't. She looks gaunt. She looks gaunt. So for anyone that, she didn't bring me up, probably next time she'll bring me up. Um, she doesn't bring BBT up. I believe it seems like those two, from what I've heard, are probably court ordered not to talk to each other. The judge probably threw a restraining order on the both of them. But I read a comment somewhere that wouldn't it be interesting to send Merb's live streams of her ranting and send it to the DA's office in Lowell, where she's charging BBT with wiretapping. So, kind of like, giving the court, the DA, like being a character witness, like it's not just BBT that Merb has done this to. She does it to a lot of people. So, I think those lives would come in really handy to the DA's office. She's having the time of her life ranting on anyone she can. She thinks she's the eternal victim. And she's not. And again, using her son and her kids, her daughter, as a weapon. As a weapon. Don't talk about my daughter. Don't talk about my daughter. But you can go after Buddy Cat's kids, right? Right? Nobody has gone after your kids, Merb. Nobody. And now she's claiming Buddy Cat didn't, those emails never came. Wrong, Merb. Wrong. You're wrong. You were evil. You were evil. You have a black heart. She's trying to deflect on the fact her squeaky clean image, which is very entertaining, because even she knows that she's not perfect and she's not squeaky clean. So for someone that doesn't even admit a fault of theirs is ridiculous, because we all come with faults, even I do, okay? But to portray yourself and to portray, let's get into the Family Foundation School? What's the name of the first word? Okay, should we get into the school and how Merb has this great image of Jimmy in that school, for troubled kids, and how these kids came out of there and they got advanced degrees and they're friends with Jimmy on Facebook. And of course, you're turning a blind eye to the students who were abused there, okay? But you're just gonna rub shoulders with the elite, the kids that had elite families, right? And I am glad people, don't be afraid to speak out. If you're a survivor of any kind of abuse, speak out, because these people want to silence you. The perpetrators, the predators, they want to silence you. The witnesses, they want to silence you. And on my community wall, I put up a couple of videos. I'm going to keep looking, of students who attended that school. That's the real story, not Merb's story. That come out of the students' mouths. That's the real story. Pink, did you know a person who's never tried any subs is as emotionally unwell as sub abusers? Pink, did you know a person who's never tried any subs? I don't understand that. Merb's not even dead yet, and she's already in hell. Heidi. She's a terrible person, and an even worse mom, at least to the younger ones. There, I said it. No pleasant memories made with them. Yeah. And to think her kids unless she lives in a mansion, you, I, I'm sorry, but as a kid, their age, we had a big house. I don't know how big Merv's house is, but we had a big house. And I'll tell you, there were more times I would eavesdrop on my parents, okay? Or whoever, if they had company over. Kids are good at that. Not that I got any dirt, you know? But you're a kid and you're like, oh, what are they talking about? You know? Kids are smart. Kids aren't stupid. And they know what goes on. And I'm sure when they graduate from high school, I'm sure they'll be going off to college away. Oh, illicit substances. Oh, okay, let me go back. Pink, did you know a person who's never tried any illicit substances is emotionally unwell as substance abusers? Oh, yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. Merv has disrespected the Family Foundation school children time after time. Right. Let me tell you something, Ivy. Okay? I'm in touch with 2 ex-students there. Not a lot. I've emailed them. I've received emails back. Nothing like, I want info, nothing like that, but just showing them support. If they ever got a hold of Mommy Rambling's YouTube channel and how she's depicting that school, what a slap in the face to those students who survived, because many took their lives. That first video on my community page, I forget his name again, who spoke at Congress, he's dead. He took his life. Okay? He was the first one that opened up the can of worms and exposed that school for what it was. He's dead. So, yeah. Merv brags about never trying anything, says it all, friggity scaredy pants, yeah. Those boys live in trauma with all the screaming, crying. And I would love Merv to go face to face. If she thinks that school was so great and all the teachers were great and the kids came out of there successful, most of them, and they're Facebook friends with my husband, then why don't you show up to one of the lawsuits? Why don't you show up and speak to the ex-students, okay? And listen to them. Listen to them. I dare you. I dare you. Especially for those of us who are survivors, okay? You have no clue what a slap in the face you are to cover up those crimes. But they're talking. They're talking. It takes time. It takes a long time. But more and more articles are coming up about that school. More and more ex-students are speaking up. And they're also speaking up for the ones that took their lives, who committed suicide because of the abuse they sustained. And you can't say, well, they came from screwed up homes. Yes, they did. They did. But you screwed them up even more. So they're sent to a school, say, as a punishment, right? For bad behavior. They should never have been sent to that school to be punished even more. And that's what that school did. They punished these kids even more. She is a disgrace, that putrid attitude straight out of the sewers. Yeah. Buddy Cat, I didn't see, I know you told me you were on Natasha's live stream. I didn't see it. So I'm sure you did well. And you should speak up. And she hates that. She hates that. She wants to silence you. She hates it. The scary part is that with horrific things, Merp's kids live 24/7. They're on a speeding train to resort to drug abuse, but old Merp doesn't care about her living children. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stress in this world as it is for these younger generations. And, you know, a lot of kids, especially if there's a predisposition to substance use. We all know that Jimmy is in recovery, I believe. Maybe tell me I'm right. From alcohol. So substance use disorder is genetic. There's a higher chance that if it's genetic that your children will be predisposed to this gene. And, you know, so even in the best of circumstances, your child, anyone's child, under those circumstances of it being genetic, are at a higher risk for substance use disorder. Can you imagine the first date and their perfect match, those two? It all made sense. We found out about the multiple crimes. Look it, we all have a past, right? I'm not going to judge somebody by a crime. But when I heard that he escaped. So this guy was already in prison, not willing to accept the consequences of his actions. So he tries to escape. That bothered me. I don't care how old you are. That bothered me. That he escaped. You know, that's no. And if Jimmy's gonna get his own channel, I'll tell you right now, wouldn't it be great if he's on his channel that he talked about this school? I think he'd feel a lot better getting a lot off his shoulders and admitting that he knew what was going on. Just like any job. I don't care if you work in a building that has 5,000 employees. Talk gets around. Everybody knows what everyone's doing at work, okay? You can't tell me that he never knew. And one of the students, ex-students from that school, said they all knew. They all knew. It's not the past, not so much about how stalking victims online and placing judgment on them when she has snakes in her own backyard. Was he a pyromaniac too? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say yes or no. Jimmy's getting his own channel. Well, that's what Merp says. Jimmy's getting his own channel. And why? Why was she speaking for Jimmy? Where was Jimmy that night? Did she throw him in the basement and duct tape him to the wall and duct tape his mouth? Can Jimmy not speak for himself? It was his life. It was his crime. It was his career. How can you speak for somebody? She didn't work at that school. To help others. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he practices the 12-step program in recovery for AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, but it's all about rediscovering yourself. You know, people think in recovery it's just a matter of stopping drinking or stopping using substances. That doesn't make somebody deemed recovered. Recovery is working on yourself. And I'll tell you something, even if you don't have a substance use disorder, the 12 steps is a program that anyone can follow. Anyone can follow. It's a matter of reinventing ourselves, the inner engineering, right? Discovering ourselves making amends not only with others, but with ourselves, admitting our wrongdoings, not just to others, but to ourselves. So Merb would be a great candidate to start living the 12-step program, and it is a way of life. Merb writes fiction. Jimmy finished 128th, wasn't a world champion. Yeah, she said he came in number 1. Merb told my kids that's what I was, which is disgusting. I shared my story of dependence. Yes, I remember that, Bitey Cat. And thank you for the courage, not only to live through that, getting off of benzos, which is very, very difficult. It's also life-threatening if you're not medically supervised. And that took courage and strength. And I thank you for sharing your story, because I guarantee you, there's always someone, either in my chat, her chat, your chat, somewhere, that either went through what you did or knows somebody who is going through that. So, that took a lot of guts. Some people just want to watch my pants burn. Ouch. World champion, probably on 130 in the gig. He competes in weight class of 135 pounds. Most men are bigger than that. Not much competition. God doesn't care about the trophies we get, right? Look it up. Look it up on Google. The 10 things God will not ask you, okay? He doesn't care about your trophies, okay? He doesn't care about what vehicle you drive. He doesn't care about the size of your home and all the luxuries that you've acquired in your life. He doesn't care. What he cares about is how you treat other people. He cares about if you have, the best vehicle. He cares about how many people that you transported, say to a doctor's appointment, people who don't have a vehicle, people who need to go grocery shopping. All right, he doesn't give a crap about the kind of vehicle you own or how much it costs. You get it? Look at that sun. Remember when Jimmy said the girls were God's gifts? He is disgusting. If he was my son's t-ball coach, I would flip out. I just don't know how anyone can sleep at night and live their life knowing how many students were harmed at that school. Nobody called him a pedophile. Nobody called him a perpetrator. What we do know is he knew about it. Everybody knew about it. Everybody. Everybody at that school knew about it. It's important we talk about the risk and danger of benzos. Yeah, and I think too it's the doctor's responsibility, if they're going to prescribe a benzo or any medication, that someone can become dependent or addicted to, that they disclose that before they write a prescription. At least say, because a lot of people don't know, like if they're prescribed a benzo like Xanax, Klonopin, they are addicting and they have to be weaned off very, very slowly. And I think doctors have the responsibility of telling their patients that before they're prescribed that these are the risks that come with it. So, and to also tell their patients, if you want to come off of it, please let me know. Do not do this on your own because it could kill you. Which is true. And I've had patients in the past that have done just that. They didn't let their doctor know they really wanted off these meds, and they just stopped it. And the same thing with antidepressants. They just stopped it, and they didn't let their doctor know. The evil bitch told my kids in her blackmail to them that I was a drug abuser. How dare she, while she lies about her own son's death, she hates me because I survived. It's awful. I'm so sorry. Read a couple of messages back. He also said teaching at that school was the best time of his life. Now I understand why. Ooh. People with no car for their family are not picky but grateful. Yeah. Jimmy didn't tend to Merb's deceased son. Didn't he notice? Put in the market. My OBGYN put me in a difficult pregnancy. He believed they were safe because it didn't cross the placenta. Yeah. And look at everybody knows that my son is in recovery from substance use. He's been in recovery for over a year, and I'm very proud of him. And God forbid, if something happens to him, I will guarantee you, I will honor my son every single day. If I were still to have a YouTube channel and that happened, I would talk about him every single day. I would spread awareness, okay? I would educate about substance use. I already talk at schools. I already do a lot in the community. But if it were my son, I'm gonna shout louder. And I'll every day, every single day, I will honor. And that's what we all should do as parents, is honor your children. And God forbid we lose our children. You honor them every single day. Whether, hey Uber, good to see you. I know I've been missing your lives. I'm sorry, I've been so busy. So we honor our children. We should honor them anyway, but in death, it's absolutely necessary that we continue to honor them and spread awareness and spread love and share our memories, because there's always someone out there going through the same thing. And to hide, and I know a lot of parents that, you know, sweep substance use under the rug. I've been to wakes of parents that are in denial. And I'll tell you, they feel tremendous guilt. Tremendous guilt. You can see it in their face. Tremendous guilt. You know, what if I only did this, if I only did that. With my son and I know if something were to happen to him, I know there was no stone unturned. I have tried everything. And we all know that, you know, they have to be the ones to want help. But I will never feel guilty of something that, say, maybe I didn't do or should have done. These are our kids. These are our kids, and it's not enabling. When you're trying to help a child, no matter what age, especially with fentanyl on the rise and fentanyl poisoning, and it's not overdose, it's poison, because most people don't know. Huh? Yeah, so most people, I lost my train of thought. Sorry, someone asked me something. Someday my sister will die from it, but she doesn't want to change. Florida Gray, I'm so sorry. Hey, Jason, what's up? So we need to spread awareness with any mental health, whether it's depression, suicide, substance use, because shoving it under the carpet is not honoring your child. It's a dishonor, and they're worthy. They're worthy of being honored. Fentanyl poisoning, Pink. It's where you were at. Yeah. And I'll tell you something. I saw a video on YouTube. The documentaries that are being put out in Texas, and I can share it on my community post tonight. And this one woman said that her son purchased heroin but wasn't aware there was fentanyl in it. Fentanyl is white. It's a white powder. Heroin is brown. Okay? So if you ever find a baggie with residue in it and it's white, it's fentanyl. It's fentanyl. So you can tell the difference. Now, if it's in a pill, that's hard, the pressed pills. But fentanyl, in its original form, mixed in with heroin, is white. It's a white powder. But yeah, my son, and I think too that fentanyl is so addicting that, yeah, there are people out there who know, some know that what they're taking is fentanyl, if it's in the powder form. And they think they can, you know, take the risk and, oh, I know how much to take, but, you know, it's just an excuse, and they're dying, and they're dying. Ridiculous. Merb sent similar threatening Proton email to the law firm that handled Nana Patty's cease and desist, and they have the authority to subpoena the info from Proton Mail for free. Yes, that is true. Nothing is private. Nothing is hidden. Proton email. Nothing is truly anonymous. Okay. Anybody, anything can be tracked and found, even Proton. And that's all it takes is a subpoena from the court. So you got to be careful out there. If you're pissed off at somebody and writing emails and, you know, you're risking getting into a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. And when you have kids, Merb, you know, why would you do that? Why would you risk going to jail or having a criminal record? You know, you want your kids to be proud of you. But that's what happened. Everyone ignored Merb, right? Especially when BBT stopped talking about Merb. It went radio silent. And sure enough, people left Merb alone. They left her alone. And she threw out the fishing line, so to say. And she hooked Buddy Cat and J-May and other people. Funny how she didn't bring up BBT. Because I'm sure she's court-ordered not to. So this is what a narcissist does, you know? The best revenge with a narcissist is not to say anything at all, to walk away, to keep silent. And they hate it. They hate it. And sure enough, she brought it up. And she's got her subscribers in there supporting her, you know, way to go, you're the best. You know, it's laughable. It's laughable. Hey, Wendy. Yeah, I'll leave it up. Right, Art Studio, she can't stand it. Bye, Uber. Thanks for coming in. I'll try to catch you tomorrow or Friday or view message. Oh, I can't. That's all messed up. Pussycat, she's a loser. Yeah. The drama is getting really crazy. Well, Jason, you're behind then if you're just thinking it's getting crazy now. I told you, Jason. I told you, you get involved in drama. You know, you're putting your channel at risk. You're putting your mental health at risk. You know, your call, but I don't know. I'd hate, you know, there's a saying, we are the company we keep. So I'd hate for you to get a bad reputation just for being around some particular people, you know? She only gets views when she starts drama. Yeah, and most people do. Look, I got 52 people. It's been a while since I've had 52 people in here. Um, you know, it just comes with the territory. But I'm not dependent on it for money, you know? I don't even check on my YouTube studio like money earned, you know? And if I do get any money, I give it right back to the community. Right back through super chats, PayPal donations. I mean, I'm not saying I'm independently wealthy, but I don't want to get into that mindset where I'm dependent on money, because I've seen that's all everyone is doing is fighting over money, you know. Oh, this creator's getting donations, this creator's scamming, and that. Yeah. You know, there are people out there like that. But what can you do? You can't stop someone from donating. What are you going to do? Nothing. And if you're that pissed off that someone's getting money or more money than you, then go out and get a job. Because you know what? With a job comes a paycheck. And think about your future. When you get a job, they take Social Security out. So when you retire, you'll have money to live off of. Oh, my battery's going low. All right, I have to go to my car. Isn't that pretty? So I am so proud of the people, of the ex-students at the foundation school. And we're gonna keep honoring those students. And any student or any child who's a victim of abuse. Hold on. Oh, look at the moon up there. Look at that. Pretty. All right. Let me get my charger. Let me start the car. Okay.
They'll take you home, even when the dawn comes crashing through. When you need a friend to carry you.
Let me back up. Oh, hold on. Let me get my tripod. Let me back up and get a better view. Hold on. I'm going to put you down for a second. Okay. Is it snack time, Pink? No. I had a big dinner. Tonda, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, Yellowhammer, her perception is her reality. She is the one living a life that is consumed with the internet. Her whole life revolves around YouTube. She's so far out of touch with the real world. Yeah, I agree with that. But I think she's the same off of YouTube. I still want to know what happened to Nicole. And it's really sad that she feels like she has to be silenced. You know, YouTube is for everybody. Everybody. And can you imagine somebody controlling you to the point where you were once a friend to somebody and all of a sudden that's it? She's nowhere to be seen or heard. Nowhere. You know who did that? Merb did that. Merb did that to her. Because Nicole knows if she says anything, Merb will rip her apart. And nobody should be that afraid of another person. Nobody. And I think if she were to come over, you know, to the other side, that she would be supported. That she would be supported. Hey, Black Eagle, what's up? Nicole's probably embarrassed. I hope she knows she's safe. Yeah, and so she went on Shellcation with Merb. And didn't Merb tell a story and laughed about how Nicole got hit in the side of the neck with a chair? Okay, it was an accident, but she laughed about it. That, you know, it hit her where her carotid artery is. And that's a very tender part. That's your neck, you know. And she laughed about it. Laughed about it. So something tells me it had something to do with that. But who knows? It could have been anything. But we all know how the last Shellcation went with Merb. And it seems like every time they go away, somebody leaves. Somebody leaves her. They unsubscribe for her. And they say, I'm done with you. You know? But she doesn't. She fails to mention that. She fails to say, well, why is it every time I go away on vacation, you know, I lose friends? And yes, Merb, the beach that you went to is a crappy beach. Sorry. If I had my choice between Florida beaches and that South Carolina beach, it looked like the aftermath of a hurricane. Okay? I would choose Florida. Jealous? Jealous? Why can't she go on vacation with her family? Right? Good question. I don't know. I always had my kids and husband with me when we went away. I can't even think of why you wouldn't want your family to... Selfish? I don't know. Does she like women? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know. I have no idea. She doesn't care. She has a new friend, Ellie. Florida, you can see through the water. Yes, Florida has gorgeous water. Once they see the real Merb, they run. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the truth. That's the absolute truth. How many people have shared their testimony to why they left her? And she going to say they're all liars? No. And look at Nicole, her right-hand subscriber, right? Always there, every single night, up all night long for this woman. And now she's gone. And it's the elephant in the room, like we don't notice, Merb. What did you do to her, Merb? What did you say to her, Merb? Huh? Merb forces all her friends to sign NDAs now. What's an NDA? Hellcake, an NDA. Nicole might be worried. Nicole Pussycat she had like blonde hair. She participated in the auctions with Merb. She was always on Merb's panel. what's an NDA? This non-disclosure agreement. Oh, really? Wow. But she can disclose shit about other people. Is that how it works, Merb? Is that how it works? Is that the only line of defense you have is to expose people private messages? Your own blah blah blah. Integrity doesn't work because you have none. You have none. You sounded like a juvenile delinquent on that live stream you did the other night. You sounded like a big baby. And mimicking stupid voices. Yeah, she needs to grow up. She's very immature. Very, very immature. She's mentally stunted. Brain stunted. She's not right in the head. No, I agree. She wants to turn her grudge diary into a screenplay. You know, what I get from this is she's a very sad woman. Very sad woman. She's depressed. She feels alone. She could have 1,000 people around her. She'll still feel alone. And people like that will take their anger, their resentment, their inadequacies out on other people. You know, she fears to look within herself. So she'll look within you and make up shit about you rather than looking within herself. You know, and it hurts. It hurts. It hurts all of us to be talked about, right? When they're lies. But I promise you that, you know, she'll never win. She lost a long time ago. One of her childhood friend lives right near me, and she knows I know her. That would be a great interview.
There.
I got invented air conditioning.
How did they do it before?
So, you know, this is what she did. She reeled people back in because she wanted a reaction.
I don't know if you want me to enjoy it or.
And Buddy Cat, like I said, I know Buddy Cat went on Natasha Cooper's. I did not see it, but I heard you did a phenomenal job. You did a phenomenal job. And you were probably, I know you were mature. I've heard you talk before. You've been up on my panel. You know, you didn't act like, you know, a child, like an untamed animal. But that's what Merb does. She has a monitor with herself playing to her right. She likes watching herself eat or make faces. Yeah, and she has like, what, 3 monitors? Like, that's suspicious, you know? There's some paranoia in there, like, in control. She wants to control. But the thing is, she can control things. She can control all she wants with all these monitors. You know, who's going live, and she's got one chat going and another chat going. But the most interesting thing is, for as much as she thinks she's in control, she's out of control. She's out of control. Period. She has no control over anybody. Nobody. Except maybe Jimmy. I think the only thing Jimmy can do on his own is take a poop. But who knows? Maybe she regulates his bowel habits too. Maybe he's only allowed to move his bowels on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Hey, hell to the no. You got 2,000 subs? Congratulations. Oh my God. Girl. Good job. You're welcome, Buddy Cat. Did you see her fake cry? It looked like the real. No. I didn't see her fake cry. I've seen her fake cry before. Well, I think so. I don't know. She screams a lot. Like that pivotal moment when when she screamed out holding her son's picture. Natasha Cooper! Like, who can forget that? Those are stories like I'll probably tell my grandchildren. Not that I have any yet, but like when we talk about the internet and the dangers. That's shit you never forget. Why is my chat not showing messages? Wow, that's all screwed up. View message. That's weird. Okay, I'm so excited and so humbled. I truly am honored. Well, you deserve it. You deserve it. So if anyone isn't prescribed to Hell to the No, please subscribe. If one of my mods can drop her link, that would be awesome. She's a clip channel. Hell to the No, you get a wrench if you drop your link. She's a clip channel and does a lot of Mummy Ramblings blob. I really want Nicole to reach out to one of us. I want to know if she's okay. Because you know Merb will track down her every move online. Thanks, Angela. Yeah, sub up to Hell to the No. If anyone else wants to drop a link, go ahead, drop your links. Bitey Cat, yes, Pussycat, she's very intelligent. And she made Bitey Cat look like Bitey Cat was looking up people. No, Merb, do you remember? You asked Bitey Cat to look up people. You asked her. I can't believe how blatantly, she'll lie blatantly. She's the type that will look you straight in the eyeballs and lie. You know how some people you can tell when they're lying, they can't look at you straight, or, you know, they might tilt their head or blush, or she can look you straight in the eyes and lie and sleep like a baby at night. These messages are weird. I'm getting, like, I see your avatars, but some of them it's just a blank screen. Pretty soon you'll have more than everything. Than Merb. Yeah, and Merb is very materialistic, you know? When she described Jimmy, it was all about the trophies, you know, everything is materialistic with her. You know, how many subscribers she has. You know, because one is such a lonely number. Right, Merb? One is the loneliest number that you've ever heard. She gaslit and made it sound like the sub was crazy. Yeah, she gaslights. I agree. She gaslights. She has all the tactics and the symptoms, the signs and symptoms of a narcissist. And I do, if you go into my playlist, I have some live streams I did on narcissism. They're very, very interesting. Wow, I can't read, really, literally, some of your messages. It's just a blank screen. I see your avatar. The bottom line, she's very unhappy. She's an unhappy woman. She's very monotone. There's nothing about her. You know, I always say, you know, there's always good in a person, no matter how bad you might think they are. And I'm really trying. I'm really, really trying to find the good in her. Now, I didn't watch her regularly, but I don't see it. I don't hear it. Even when she talks about praying for people, you know, how does she say it at the end? Prayers for all that need them. That's how she says it, prayers for all that need them. That sounds so cold, you know, prayers for all that need them. Bye. You missed my verb. Yeah, well, I think maybe it's time for another parody, Merb, huh? You know, my parody is imitation, so it's not like, you know, I act just like you do. And I can go by the transcript in your live stream, so every word I use are your words, so you really can't get mad at me. Anyone find my phone? Jeez. I can't believe she's Jamie, I can't see your comment either. It didn't come up. She is what she says everyone else is. Yes, Yellow Hammer. Okay? She's talking about herself. Absolutely. Absolutely. She's absolutely describing herself when she goes after other people. You know? She can't stand that Buddy Cat or Jamie or whomever else has support, has friends, are happy. She can't stand that. Narcissists don't like that. They don't like to feel that they've lost control over people. But the thing is, you never had control. She never had control. You don't own anybody. Anybody. I'm sorry if I'm not reading all your messages, but this is weird. I'm getting like blank screens. It's like a glitch or something. Wendy L, I can't see. Oh, add hell to the no. I can't see your whole message. You told her you have her support. She asked me to look up Sandra Ruzak niece because I have genealogy accounts. She wanted free services. What the hell would I look up Ruzak's niece? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, Mer, why would you look up Sandy Ruzak's niece? Does Sandy know that? Why would you look her up? And she always said, you know, Sandy and I have something in common because, you know, we lost, you know, our child, or Sandy lost several, like her child and grandchildren. That's not having something in common. Sandy's kids were murdered. They were murdered. Murdered. Rumor has it that J Bell's got a peek, maybe a pic. Yeah, and that's another thing. She's calling out scammers. But yeah, did she forget about J Bell's taking donations for J Bell's? And then when she supposedly found out J Bell's was a scammer, the donations didn't go to J Bell's. The donations went to her, to Merb. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't they go directly to J Bell? So I'm thinking she was aware and she was in on it. But that's just my opinion, because it doesn't make sense. If you're going to raise money, I mean, drop J Bell's PayPal, you know, or do it in a way where it's linked to her bank account, you know. But no, it was linked to your PayPal. And when she got called out for being a scammer, you didn't even think to give people their money back. But Merb, you know, thinks she's a saint. She can do no wrong. No inner wisdom. No. She said long ago that she is a public figure. Yes, and she also doxed Bitey Cat. I didn't know Bitey Cat's full name. Just because if it was said at one point doesn't make it okay to say it again. We're selling dollar store napkins for hundreds, mentioning others. Yeah. And I heard, oh, here's something interesting. You know, is it Temu? Temu, that company that sells cheap stuff. Erin F. has come back and she's opening Temu. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. Products. Now Mummy Ramblings is doing it because Erin is getting actually quite a few views from that. So now Mummy Ramblings, you know, she's not original. She can't do things on her own. She's got to copy everybody else. So, like, she needs more junk in her house. She's a hoarder. She's a hoarder, people. So, I'm going to get going. Maybe I'll go live later. Oh, it's 9:30. Maybe not. Anyone going live tonight? Again, if you want to subscribe to Hell to the No, congratulations for reaching 2,000 subscribers. And don't forget, she's got a coffee tip link. And if it's not in your last video, put the link in so she can receive tips. She works very hard at her videos, and they're really, really good. And they expose the truth. So keep them coming. Keep those videos coming. Married names publicly. Bye, Angela. Yeah, she'll even throw out hyphenated names. She's a dirty doer. You're a dirty doer, Merb. She'll never be successful. When you can reach 100,000 like Gray Hughes, then we'll talk. We'll talk. When you can reach 100,000 and come up with, be original. I don't mean reading true crime speed reader, reading articles on crime that are not, that's like plagiarism. Those are not yours. What you should do is before you read an article, you should say who the author is and from what newspaper or wherever it came from before you read it, and give credit to where credit is due. Okay? So that doesn't take much work. So if you really want to be a true crime creator, be an original, and knock it off with your drama, throwing out the fishing line thinking you're going to hook somebody and reel them in. No. And Gray donates some of his donations. Gray, he has donated, I think, in total, at least $150,000. And he has helped. He donates to a genealogy company. She's been, I forget her name, she's a doctor, she's been a guest, and they have solved some cold cases. Gray Hughes and the freaks, his subscribers, us, who donate, help with those cold cases, and they are solved. So he's awesome. 50%. Yeah. So it's Gray Hugh Investigates, if someone wants to drop a link. He's all true crime. He doesn't do drama. He does a lot of cold cases. Some of them, his channel subs in him. Colleen, yes, thank you, Yellowhammer. Dr. Colleen Fitzgerald have donated thousands and thousands to help solve some of these cold crime through genealogy. And it takes a lot of money. So that's awesome. but she is only 100 watching. Yeah, when she does drama, 41,000 subs that she brags about. Where are they? They're either dead or they moved on from the Chris Watts, and she thinks, she's some superstar because her success with Chris Watts. And I'll say it again, my dog could have created a channel and roof about Chris Watts and would have been successful. She didn't have to send out for the discovery. All she did was read, and she wormed her way into Sandy Rosick's life because she knows what Sandy is going through. Okay? She had a plan. She had a plan like a snake. And I don't know. I don't follow Mommy Ramblings that much. Is Sandy in her chats at all? She's a loser. She's a loser. Jabby! Jabby! Remember the time she threw Jimmy those hangers? Those clothing hangers? He politely asked for hangers, and she was walking with her cell phone, and she threw the hangers at his feet. Here you go. Here you go. He's so whipped. And you know what? I don't believe he's on the deed to the house. That guy is like, if he were to leave her, he'd be homeless. He'd be homeless. Imagine living your life. You got one life to live, and that's how you live it. That's how you live your life. You have one life to live. One life. One chance on this merry-go-round. And that's how you live it. It's awful. All right. They're silicone nodules. They haven't hatched yet. All right, these messages are all messed up. I'm seeing blanks again. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Maybe I'll think about a parody. They're very difficult when I do her because they depress the shit out of me whenever I have to parody her. But I know my subscribers like it. I know it's comic relief, especially when we're stressed out by meanies like her, by narcissists, by people who hide the truth about kids who are physically, emotionally, and sexually abused at a school that her husband taught at and who was aware. And I've had a student tell me through an email that they were all aware. This wasn't a huge school. And again, you can work at a place with 5,000 people. People know what goes on in a company, what's going on behind the scenes, okay? They know. They know. How will they know? They know. They all know, right? Right? How do they know? They know. They all know. And I'm so proud of those students who came forward, who are coming forward, who are speaking out. And I think down in the future, you're going to hear a lot more about this school. There's going to be more articles written. The latest article I could find was in 2022. So this isn't going away. This is just starting. This is just starting. So thank you to all those students who are speaking up. And prayers to those who ended their lives because of the abuse they endured at that school, and nobody would listen. Nobody would listen to them. And prayers for healing for all of them. Okay. All right. Good night, everybody. Be well. And let's see. I'm off this weekend, so maybe I'll pop on. Oh, Bitey Cat, I can't see your message. This is weird. It's just a blank screen. All right. Much love. Take care of yourself and each other. That's what Jerry Springer used to say. And prayers for those people in the submarine MERB. It's not important how they poop, okay? That's not what's important, Merb, is that they're rescued and that they're alive. Okay? That's what's important. Not how they poop. Okay? That would be the last thing I would be thinking about. That they're rescued, that they're found safe and alive and brought home to their families. Okay? So we're all watching, we're all praying for all those people in that submarine. J-May, I don't see a message. All right. Talk to you guys later. Good night. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Bye.